Let's get started. Extreme Foolishness TV here. This is where I talk about extreme foolishness that goes on around you. I will be reacting to Israel Adesanya's video where he defended Joe Rogan in a press conference. I'll play the entire video first, then I will play bit by bit, chop it up, and give you my extreme foolishness analysis. Let's go.
And Dana, I had a question for you around Joe Rogan. There's been a lot of controversy with him.
First off, let me take this one. Hold up. I'm black. I can take this one. Look.
Okay. What were...
No. There's a lot of cunts in this game. There's a lot of snakes in this game. I've been in this fight game since 2008. And Joe Rogan is one of the nicest, coolest, humble motherfuckers I've had the pleasure of working with. Understand that? And you know, it's just, fuck the noise, man. You know what they're trying to do. You can't control the man, and he's got the biggest platform in the world right now. So that's my nigga, Joe Rogan. Fuck the noise.
And Dana, I had a question for you.
So clearly, as you guys can see, the question was directed to Dana White. And Israel just jumped in. And if you look at his demeanor, because I want you guys to take note of his demeanor. He jumped in as if he's, oh, you know what? I'm black. I want to take one for the team. That is trying too hard, player. And I'm a fan of Israel. I'm a fan. But when somebody directs a question to Dana White, and you said, oh, I'm black. It's like, you know what? I don't want Dana White to say anything because he's white. Dana White is capable to respond and hold his own. You don't need to step in and say, oh, I'm black. Let me answer this one. Bump everybody else. I'm black. And he said, listen.
Around Joe Rogan, there's been a lot of controversy with him.
The reporter directed the question to Dana White. He said, there's been a lot of controversy with Joe Rogan.
First off, let me take this one. Hold up. I'm black.
First of all, let me take this one. Hold up. That's pandering. That is doing too much.
Black, I can take this one. Look.
Okay. What were...
No. There's a lot of cunts in this game. There's a lot of snakes in this game.
There's a lot of cunts in this game. There's a lot of snakes in this game. Who is he referring to? What game? He said he's been in the fight game for 10, 11 years. Is he talking about the reporter being a cunt and a snake? Or is he talking about the people who are criticizing Joe Rogan? Israel, who are you talking about, player? Who are you talking about? Who are the snakes? Who are the cunts?
I've been in this fight game since 2008. And Joe Rogan is one of the nicest, coolest, humble motherfuckers I've had the pleasure of working with.
Again, no one, to my understanding, has criticized Joe Rogan for not being nice, for not being cool, for not being humble. So why is he talking about Joe Rogan is one of the nicest, coolest, and humble people he's worked with? The people who criticize Joe Rogan criticize him for the vaccine misinformation that he's disseminating out there into the world. They also criticize him for repeatedly using the N-word and for saying that he went to a black neighborhood to watch a movie and he looked like he walked into the Planet of the Apes. And the last time I checked, Spotify has scrubbed its platform of a lot of those, videos of Joe Rogan, a lot of podcasts of Joe Rogan. So I'm like, if what he said is not that bad, why are you cleaning your platform of it? Why don't you just leave it there? Obviously, they must not be that nice. I'm sure he said it a while back, but it is what it is. Whatever he said is what he said. Joe Rogan has come out to apologize And I'm not saying they should cancel him or they should take his platform away from him. No. But whatever he said, everyone has a right to criticize what he said, especially if he's spewing vaccine misinformation. People have a right to criticize that too.
Understand that. And it's just, fuck the noise, man. You know what they're trying to do. You can't control the man, and he's got the biggest platform in the world right now. So that's my nigga, Joe Rogan.
Say they're trying to control him. First of all, Israel just signed a multi-million-dollar contract with the UFC. He's probably the second highest paid player in the UFC right now. To his left is Dana White. Joe Rogan works for the UFC and Dana White. What do you expect him to say, Israel? We know. They write your checks. You're not going to say anything to hurt the folks who feed you. In the real world, they will call this a conflict of interest. He's appeared on Joe Rogan's podcast, maybe twice, at least once. I've seen one of the podcasts where Israel appeared on Joe Rogan's podcast. So obviously he's going to say whatever it is that he needs to say to defend Joe Rogan. Hey, that's what, he works with them. He makes money with them. And that is why sometimes people say that athletes are not the smartest. He's fitting right into the stereotype because everything he said has nothing to do with what they're criticizing Joe Rogan for. The coolest, smartest, and humble person in the world. No. If you want to support Joe Rogan, support him on the issues and say, hey, this is the reason why I support him. You have a right to view your point, your opinion, to state your opinion. I get that. But to just trivialize everything that Joe Rogan has said and reduce it to he's a cool, humble, nicest guy. No one has ever said he's not nice or cool or humble. I'm not saying Joe Rogan is a racist, but I'm sure there are cool, nice, and humble racists out there to the people in their circle. You obviously in their circle, you're making them money. It's a mutually beneficial relationship. So they're going to be cool to you. They're going to be nice to you. Here's a box office draw. Dana White they're going to be cool. After each fight, they're going to look at the numbers and count their millions and say, yeah, more money. But you cannot normalize that and just discount everything and say, you know what, they're trying to silence Joe Rogan. I don't think they're trying to silence him. They said, hey, take those, the vaccine stuff that he was saying, the misinformation. They told Spotify to remove it. And Spotify has now responded and said that they're going to put an advisory warning, which I think is BS. But hey, what else? Let me see.
Fuck the noise.
You know what's funny? He drops the mic as if he just did something, as if he's just did a wonderful speech or did a stand-up comedy that had a loud ovation. Like he just did something epic. He drops the mic. He drops the mic like, yo. Like he just said something really, really, really intellectual because he said somebody's nice, cool, and humble. And he dropped the mic. Boy. Israel, you got to do better, man. Like, especially, you got to do better. I'm not saying don't support him, but at least if you're going to state something and grab the mic right there and say, I'm going to take this one, say something that makes sense. Don't say, oh, it's cool, nice, blah, blah. No, that's not the issue. And if you have nothing good to say, or not nothing good, but he had something good to say about it. If you cannot state something directly on the issue at hand, don't say anything. If the question was directed to you, then you can say something, but to jump in there and grab the mic and take it away from Dana White as if you're about to do something big, and just to say the little crap you just said, get a life, man. Whatever he said is basic. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Appreciate you guys for watching. Stay safe out there, my friends. And most importantly, say no to extreme foolishness.